Hello, Bible readers. It is Wednesday, October 7th. We're reading from Deuteronomy chapters 18 through 21 and Luke chapter 9, verse 44 through chapter 10, verse 12. To start with the gospel, there is a theme as we're going to get into this part of Luke's gospel where it's going to be a touchstone that we return to over and over again, and that is that the prophet has to make his way to Jerusalem. There's this journey to Jerusalem that is like an inevitability that that's where Jesus has to go to do the work he has to do. And so there will be many times, I've highlighted this one in wedding sermons before, where I talk about how there's only so many yeses a person can offer, like big yeses in their lives. Vowing to remain faithful to a spouse, that's one of them. An Olympic athlete, for example, says yes to devoting their self, their life to getting a medal. Jesus has one big yes that he has in mind, and that is getting to Jerusalem to do the work he must do there. And so he'll stop in a village, for example, heal a bunch of people. They want him to stay, and I'm sure he wants to, but he has to go to Jerusalem. And so that's what we have here, is the prophet is journeying to Jerusalem. There are sayings, there are healings, but the focus amidst all of it is making my way to Jerusalem. There's also the story of the sending of the 70. This is a story unique to Luke. It's not a story that's included in Matthew or Mark, and it really does connect, especially as we've read about Moses in the Old Testament. This is Jesus as a Moses figure, sending out these 70, and then it also elevates the status of who these leaders will be in this community once Jesus is gone. In Deuteronomy, we've got issues of life and death in chapter, especially as we get into chapter 19 and 20. Life and death, especially as we think about murder, homicide in general. The aims and methods of warfare are also set out in this passage, and they're among, as I'm reading from my commentary, they're among the most disturbing and dangerous of all the teaching that is found within the whole book. The realization that this ideology of warfare has an exclusive religious basis and motivation, and that it has frequently been said to constitute a doctrine of holy war, has heightened rather than softened the intense moral objections to it. It is nothing less than a demand for a policy of religious and ethnic genocide. So Christians have not read this part of Deuteronomy and thought, that's how we should do war. That's what a just and righteous war could look like for us. Genocide is just not within our morality. Possibly a more fruitful path of understanding has been pursued by those who, like John Bunyan in the Holy War, have sought to regard the concept of a biblically justified holy warfare as an allegory. Maybe this is just representative of something else. An allegory of the conflict between good and evil for control of the human soul. It is not a doctrine of how Israelites should deal with Canaanites literally, but a doctrine outlining the demands, difficulties, and dangers of the spiritual warfare that every serious believer in a righteous God must face. He's suggesting that the kind of warfare Deuteronomy is speaking to our individual, personal battles with good and evil. I think that might be a stretch to read Deuteronomy as though that's what it was trying to originally say, but maybe that's how we use it in 2020. I am one with my God. My God is with us, all of us, at all times and in all places.